going on? It's your dog Art Man Boxing, and we're back with another boxing conversation. Hold on, let me fix this camera really quick. Shit, we gonna talk some boxing tonight. I know that for sure. Not gonna be on here too long, but we're gonna talk some boxing. I wanted to talk about this Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson fight. Man, this is a good fight, dude. Like, I posted today, I said, man, I hope this fight restores that feeling, that good feeling of watching a good Mexican versus Black American scrap, dude. When those styles collide, man, it's always fireworks. From the Canelo Floyds to the Meldrick Taylor versus Chavez Sr. You know what I'm saying? Just shit like that. Even Juan Marquez versus Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Fights like that, dude. Man, I miss those fights. And I feel like Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson can be that. You know, all of a sudden, Oscar Valdez fans that got their confidence up out of nowhere. I'm like, yo, where did this come from? When the fight was announced, y'all was kind of, you know what I'm saying? They were kind of real quiet. But now they just talking about how Valdez is doing all this and how Shakur Stevenson's gonna run. They quickly getting on cold. And we gotta speak on that, dude. Let's be real. This is a race fight. You know what I'm saying? As much as fans try to be politically correct and say, oh no, man, it's impossible. It ain't no way. Nah, it's a race fight, man. And I got proof from the other side. The other side, they started throwing shots first. We just wanted to enjoy the fight. But the other side, they've been throwing shots. Let me go look at these comments, dude. So earlier today, I'm like, okay, Top Rank and Fight Hype or whatever, they dropped their videos of the not press conference, but whatever type of meetup that they did, face to face or whatever. They did the face to face. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's what's up, you know. But then I'm like, hold on. Let me go read these comments and see what the community is talking. What is the boxing community talking about? Man, I go to the comment section and I see nothing but race fucking talk. Hold on, let me see if I can find that shit. One of the comments, I'm gonna read right now. The comment says, it's the, okay, hold on, let me play the audio first before I get into the comment. Let's get into it.
What's up, Shakur? What's up? You got one belt, you came here to get another, is that right?
For sure. That's my belt.
He's just holding it for you right now?
Yeah, he's just holding it for a little minute. April 30th is mine.
Why were you so anxious for that stare down just now?
I mean, I don't know. It's been a long time coming. I feel like he think that I'm just talking on social media. He think that it's just play, but at the end of the day, it's the same in person. Like, I'm on the same type of timing. I'm not going to switch up. And April 30th, I'm going to be on the same type of timing.
Would you size up from Oscar just now, in terms of how big he is or the feeling you get from him in that first Times Square?
Nah, only thing that I think, he got a big-ass head. That's the main thing, and so I'm going to be punching on that shit all night.
I mean, that usually means you could take a good punch, right?
Yeah, it's not. Sometimes, you never know. I seen him drop before, so probably on the chin. I got him on the chin instead of the top of the head.
Well, most
I might be boxing on the outside. Just at the end of the day, it's the same in person. Like, I'm on the same type of timing. I'm not going to switch up. And April 30th, I'm going to be on the same type of timing.
Would you size up from Oscar just now, in terms of how big he is or the feeling you get from him in that first Times Square?
Nah, only thing that I think, he got a big-ass head. That's the main thing, and so I'm going to be punching on that shit all night.
I mean, that usually means you could take a good punch, right?
Yeah, it's not. Sometimes, you never know. I seen him drop before, so probably on the chin. I got him on the chin instead of the top of the head.
Well, most people, that they feel like you win the fight, but by decision. Do you feel like you could stop Oscar Valdez in this fight.
For sure. I think that if you watch my last fight, I was more aggressive. I put a lot more combinations together.
You know what I'm saying? He just talking this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But then I go into the comment section and someone says, hold on, where did that comment go? I just had it up. Give me a second, because I want to read that shit word for word, bar for bar. Okay, a guy by the name of Flaberto Corona Jr. said, "You're going to remember this night, black ass. You know the truth. Mexicans run this sport. Number one, fire." And I'm like, I'm just watching it. I'm just reading that shit. I'm just like, yo, like, and these fans want to sit back and tell us it's not about race. But you got your own folks out here saying crazy shit like, yo, black ass, you gonna remember this night, black ass. And then I hear people saying, or I'm looking at comics and people are saying, you got a big ass gap in your mouth. All you're gonna do is run. This boy is gonna get taught a lesson. You know what I'm saying? And then we got people in the comment section saying, oh man, can you guys stop talking about the race talk, da 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 da. But man, let's be real. This is what they do. But shout out to everybody in the chat. My dude said salute Art Man. Said what's good, Art. Now what's going on, man? Shout out to y'all. He said, I don't know, man. I think I got Shakur. Of course. Who don't got Shakur? I don't even think Valdez family got fucking Valdez. Says salute. Yeah, salute to you, man. Let's keep it 100, man. Let's keep it 100. When it comes to this boxing shit, man, it's a real lonely sport. Yeah, you can have fans, you can have family cheering you on and this and that. But when you step in that ring, it's just you and nobody else besides that man in front of you. So Valdez, man, he's in a real tough situation, dude. He really is in a tough situation. Shout out to my bro D Hive. What's going on, man?
Yo,
Just like
yo.
Tariq say, they'll say it's not about race, but they never check the people that be on the BS but come at us for pointing it out. Of course. That's what they do. Of course.
My biggest thing is I thought Shakur was Puerto Rican.
Me too.
Wasn't that the prevailing narrative leading up to the fight because no one has any faith in Valdez to fucking win? I thought it was because I thought he was Puerto Rican. What's up, Coward Nella? I thought he was Puerto Rican. Like it's going back and forth. You know, I was actually gonna make a Twitter post today. I was actually gonna be like, man, like the only people quieter than Cambosa's team are Oscar Valdez fans right after the fight they dropped. Because those motherfuckers went into witness protection. They didn't say anything. They were just like, oh shit. They had to literally throw Valdez away like they never even liked him.
They say drug cheat because they try to come out and say he was drug cheating, all this and that. But then they like, man, fuck it, let's just ride with our boy. Now they just like, fuck it, they ride with it.
Yeah, and that's great. That's fantastic to see. But I thought Shakur was Puerto Rican. That's what I'm still stuck on. I thought the motherfucker was Puerto Rican just yesterday. Now he's back to black. What the fuck? Like what happened?
These comments, they ain't
What's up,
saying his
Midwest?
Puerto Rican ass. They saying his black ass.
Yeah, so I'm curious. Like I don't know where that came from because the people, the non-black individuals that have Shakur Washington Valdez are claiming him as Puerto Rican. And I'm like, okay, hey, it is what it is. But now all of a sudden he's back to being black. I'm like, y'all need to pick a fucking lane because when he had that mugshot on BoxRec, oh, he was a nigga. Oh, he was a nigga then. But
when
as
he was
soon
crying, when he was crying, he was a nigga then.
oh
But
yeah,
now,
when
but now he's black. And
now that oh go
my
ahead.
thing is like this. Let's just move forward. Let's embrace it. Stop trying to hide it. You guys are race fans. Boxing is race related. Y'all look at Mexican fighters as a team, team players. This is a team sport to them. You know what I'm saying? So when they see their guy fighting against a black guy, they know this is the rival team. So they already got these pre-made fucking jokes and certain sayings and speaking points. Like, dude, go to the comment section. Even though Shakur won by knockout his last fight, they're saying, "Oh, he's just gonna go in there with Valdez and run. He's gonna run." You
My
know what I'm
thing
saying?
is, my thing is fucking so. If Valdez is everything you say he is, his fat ass should be able to cut off the ring. I get tired of hearing that shit. Oh, all he does is run and run and run. I'm like, okay, that you can say that. That's all fantastic. Number one, Valdez knocked Burchell the fuck out doing the back pedal. Okay, Valdez was on his bicycle that entire goddamn fight because he didn't want to get into an exchange with Burchell. But that's neither here nor there. If Shakur decisions Valdez in a boring ass sleeper fight because Valdez's fat ass can't cut off the ring because he's not that good, then that's on Valdez. It does not matter how you win. All that matters is that you keep winning. I get so sick and tired of hearing that running shit. It
He's
doesn't
being,
matter.
run is code for a black skilled boxer, man. Let's be real, man. That's what it is. And I don't even give a fuck if you say it's running or not because the game is to get hit. No, to hit and not get hit. We don't want Shakur Stevenson face to look like how Valdez face looked after fighting Robson. You know what I'm saying? It's a game of, hit and not being hit. You're not supposed to go in there and get punched around the ring like Martinez did against Chocolatito. You know what I'm saying? That's not what the fuck we do.
Yeah, no, that's a fight of the year candidate right there. They want Valdez to hold. I mean, they want Shakur to hold the fuck still. Let Valdez whoop his ass so they can say that Shakur has no power, Shakur can't box, and he gets his head boxed off. None of this shit matters. Okay, we got Wilder who knocks everybody out. He can't box. We got Haney who boxes his ass out. He
He
can't. He
can't
can't knock
punch.
anybody out. We got Tank who can do both excellently and he just he doesn't fight anybody. He's not good enough. He's not that great. It's like so it clear is the shit is personal. The shit is clearly
It's
personal.
personal. It's a little insecurities as well.
Yeah, you got some shit on your heart, and I think what really fucked him up is like a week or two ago. Oh, actually no, like a month or two ago, because you've been asking this question for a while. When you posed the question to them after Canelo Alvarez is gone, who the fuck do y'all have? That shit is I can tell is still bugging
To
them
this day, I haven't had anybody that gave me a solid answer, bro.
because they don't have nobody. There's too many killers coming up. There's Keyshawn between 135 and 140. There's Shakur who can go from 130 to 140 to even welterweight. There's Tank who goes between 130 and 140, potentially even 147. There's Haney who can go all the way up as 154. There's Boots from 147 all the way up to 168 if you really wanted to, because he's big as shit for no goddamn reason. There's Brandon Glanton at cruiserweight, chilling in the cut. There's fucking Jared Anderson, the heavyweight. There's Ray Salim. There's Stephen Fulton. Like there's too many. There's too many killers. Eventually,
Too many. And when we start talking like that, even though you're just naming real people, they feel like you're coming off as being cocky.
it just is what it is. Y'all gonna have to avoid the fuck out these people. Even some of these dudes gonna have to avoid each other. Like all that shit y'all talking about, Gary Antron Russell and Boots and the amateurs. Yeah, that shit sound good, but let's do that fight today. Yeah, no, that's not gonna go over well for Gary Antron. I'm sorry. I
We gotta
understand
get a
he's
couple more fights in.
yeah,
But
that shit not gonna go the way y'all think it's gonna go.
but speaking of the young guys, I'm not liking the way Ortiz Jr. is sounding, man. I don't like that these guys just want a payday talk. Like, man, I'm telling you, Canelo and his fans, they're changing the game up because we got young guys who haven't even had a big fight yet telling other fighters, young fighters, that you guys want a payday.
Yeah, nah, the fucking pride of Grand Prairie is
Yeah,
telling people is telling people that fighting him is their biggest payday. Meanwhile, this motherfucker is not only passing up title eliminators, but he said he won't Spence because it's his biggest fight. And I'm like, oh, so I thought that payday talk was some bullshit. Now all of a sudden you got to get your payday, but anybody else who wants to fight you is just thirsty. Oh, okay. I see. I feel it. I feel it. So, Michael McKinson, Mister Fought Nobody in 2 knockouts, was he thirsty? Because I know that they're trying to get him some southpaw experience because they think he can fuck with Spence, and they're gonna run him into an ass whooping, and that's cool. But it's like, so where do you draw the line at, Mr. Grand Prairie, pride of Grand Prairie?
Bro, we living in some different times. My guy Cozy says Ortiz Jr. and Conor Ben sounding like some hoes lately.
They are.
We live in an era where the young and up and coming guys don't even want to become champions. What the fuck?
These
What
niggas,
is that?
these niggas don't even want to fight each other.
They don't
They
want to fight
don't
each
even
other.
want to
They
fight
don't want
each
to fight
other.
the champion. What is this?
Munguia ain't trying to scrap nobody. Conor Ben ain't trying to scrap nobody. Ortiz Jr. think he gonna do something with Spence now. And bro,
I don't even believe that Spence talk. I honestly don't even believe it. I just feel like he just saying that shit because he know that nigga Spence got his hands tied.
but what did I tell you? People said I was crazy when I said that Virgil Ortiz has a rabid fan base who thinks that he knocks off Spencer Bud right now. They all said I was stupid, didn't know what I was talking about. That bad boxing takes tweet came out. They all showed their fucking faces. What did I say? I said they was out there. Everyone said, nah, you're just making shit up. The same people who said I was making shit up said Virgil Ortiz Jr. beat Spence right fucking now.
A lot of these dudes thinking Spence is broken, man, and I don't like that type of talk.
No, I
Honestly,
want them. I want them to keep that energy because I want Ugas to internalize that and go into the fight thinking that and gets laid the fuck down. That's really what I want. I want Ugas to
did you
internalize
see
all this
Ugas?
good energy.
Did you see Errol Spence posted a picture of him training or whatever? I think Brian Custer posted it, matter of fact.
Yeah, it was on
And,
Instagram.
and then Ugas comment under it like on some wild emoji type shit.
Yeah, he really is looking past Spence, and I find the shit crazy. He really thinks he's the Southpaw killer. You niggas been hyping him up off that goddamn Pacquiao win, and I'm like, okay, bro. Everybody saw something. Everybody thought it was sweet. Everybody thought it was just easy pickings, and then boom.
Dude said, my dude Cozy said, Art man, he said anybody fighting Mike McKinnison not really trying to fight Spence. It's all cap.
Thank
Exactly.
you. Shut that bullshit up. Everyone talking about pillow fist and who can knock out someone. Michael McKinson has 2 knockouts. Talk to him. He has 21 wins and 2 knockouts. It's boxing, not knockout. Roast his ass.
Midwest says Yuga's training was Salas.
Yes, he is training with Ismail Salas and has been for several years at this point.
Said Errol Spence hasn't stopped anybody since 2018. How do you
That's
win
fine.
fights, by knockout or just going 12 rounds? Or can you do both?
And Ugas
You know
himself
what I'm
and
saying? Like, what the fuck?
Ugas himself has 27 wins and 12 knockouts, but everyone thinks he's this vicious puncher all of a sudden. Like, dude, y'all gotta hear yourselves sometimes. Y'all gotta hear yourselves. Y'all talking about Spence can't punch, this, and that. Ugas has had 27 fights and only 12 knockouts.
These
Okay.
fights going 12 round and having stamina to go 12 rounds and outclass your opponent is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, and keep in mind that's on top of Ugas's 4 fucking losses. Errol Spence has the same number of fights, but 21 knockouts. Y'all got to say some of the dumb shit y'all say out loud sometimes, and just see if it makes any mathematical sense.
It doesn't. That's why we always going back and forth on Twitter, because it's like, bro, do y'all niggas even hear the stupid shit y'all saying?
It just be talk. It's just like with the Bud Charlo talk. I'm just like, can anyone explain to me what leverage Bud has? Bud has
Charlo
no
over here
leverage.
talking about Castano's alleged drug use and how suspicious it looked because the fight we're waiting for got pushed back. And instead of you niggas talking about that, y'all want to talk about Bud versus fucking Charlo, which is never happening anytime soon.
Yeah. First of all, the meanwhile Terence Crawford last 13-round fight was 2016. Fights haven't been 13 rounds in a while. But anyways, just real quick on that shit. So first of all, fuck Charlo because he was talking that shit about skills pay the bills. Now he worried about being cheated. Nah, nigga, keep the same energy. Second of all, on a realistic note, I asked the question, Bud, what leverage does Bud have? People said he was undisputed at 140. Okay, y'all niggas gonna keep saying that. Let me tell you, you can't go into a fucking business negotiation saying, oh, well, I really whooped ass at a lower weight. That's not how it works, okay? Bud is coming to the table with no belts, no major network promotion, and pretty much nothing but him and Big Mac and some undisputed at 140. Do y'all think Usyk went to AJ and them and said, "Oh, well, I was undisputed at cruiserweight, so therefore, no"? He took what he was offered, whooped that ass, and now he's the A side. Okay, that's how it works. And the worst part is people talk about MTK. Okay, cool. Let's talk about MTK. MTK is dropping bags on everybody except Terrence Crawford. Now, like I said, if Terrence Crawford gets into a position with Kinahan where he can pass out counter offers on some terms that he likes, great. He can be whatever side he wants to. But until that time, until your own promoter decides to spend some money on you, you are not shit. Y'all can
Hey,
talk.
y'all see the folks in the comment section dropping Puerto Rican flags?
Yeah, see, they can't make up their minds. Like he's fucking black 1 minute, Puerto Rican the next minute. Like, and the thing is, and yeah, Midwest that's fine, but their pay per view sales are about the same. Just because Bud is more popular on Twitter doesn't mean he gets to go into a negotiation with that. Like I said, if y'all are unhappy about Bud split, get the niggas cash app and hit that motherfucker until they make it right. Until his percentage is good enough for the fight to be made. Bud is coming in there with no leverage. You guys on Twitter that like Bud and like to say niggas are ducking, that shit doesn't matter. If I'm Charlo and all you're coming at me with is a bunch of assholes on Twitter going to say I'm a duck, I don't give a fuck about you. You take what I'm offering, or I have other options. Charlo can fight Lubin, Charlo can fight Fandora, Charlo can fight Zoo, Charlo can fight a bunch of other people while Bud sits there like a lump on a log crying about his big ass boat.
Speaking of Tim Zoo,
Nobody fucking cares.
he's coming out here this month, man. I gotta see that fight. I'm going there. I'm gonna be front row, man. What if he sleeps Gaucher? Do you think it puts him in position to get one of these title shots?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's being billed as an eliminator or a final eliminator. I think it's just to get him over here because he's already Mando for Castano's belt, I believe, and he wanted, yeah, he's already Mando for the WBO, and he wanted that action before Castano got the let out, and all of a sudden decided to take the rematch because he knew that's where the bank was. But yeah, I absolutely think that if he smokes Gaucher, like I think he probably is going to, I think he should definitely get next. I mean, he seems like he
Man,
about it.
I feel like people
Well, actually, no, I
sleeping on
lied. Lubin
Goucher.
should get next.
Goucher can box, man, but he's a real slow starter.
Not only the salute PJ's result, not only that, but he doesn't hit hard enough to disincentivize anybody, somebody like Tim Zoo from just closing the distance and dropping bombs on him. Now, Gaucher can box his ears off, but Tim Zoo's not going to be the type to sit there and let himself get boxed. He's going to try to press the action. He's going to make it dirty. He's going to grab, hold, do all that, veteran shit. And he got a lot of power at 154. He do.
I mean, Goucher had Lubin on, what I'm saying, on doing a stanky leg for a quick second.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, that's Lupin. I mean, no disrespect, but also I
But he
could.
just stopped Jamonte Clark, who arguably, I was there in Minneapolis. I seen Jamonte Clark beat Fundora. And this is somebody that Gaucher just stopped.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
gotta mean something.
yeah, I mean, fair. I'll give him this. He did that one punch, knocked him down horribly, but the referee ended up stopping it, so it wasn't like he was out cold. But absolutely, he did get the stoppage in the second round. But I don't know if Tim Zoo, number one, he got to be able to land that on Tim Zoo. Tim Zoo is a smaller target that moves his head and throws lots of uppercuts.
Who has Tim Zook fought?
His best win currently is fucking Jeff Horn coming up in weight.
Damn.
But you know me, I think styles make fights. I don't do that triangle theory shit. And not to mention I
That's
am
true. The reason why I'm saying it is because I'm like, what fight can I watch now that he fought anybody that's somewhat of the skill level of Gaucher, who's an Olympian?
you can there's Takashi Inoue, there's that dude, there's Dennis Hogan, there's that dude. Uh Outside of that, it's been pretty much buns. If we keep it 100. Outside of Jeff Horn, Dennis Hogan, and Takashi Inoue, it's been pretty much buns.
Man, these guys are still in our comment section arguing about. He says Mexico versus slick boxing, American, Puerto Rican, blood vibe, Valdez fighting two styles at once. Man, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, are Puerto Ricans historically slick? Are they? I mean,
Hey, you know what fight I was watching or the highlights of today?
what?
The real highlights, not that top rank fucking edit shit of
What?
Valdez versus Robson.
You should watch that whole fight back,
Oh
man.
my lord,
That nigga,
bro, from the highlights I seen today, I said, bro, he beat the shit out of Valdez.
he got washed.
Like, not saying like he was like about to stop him or anything like that, but
No, he just got outboxed.
he was clearly outboxing him.
And keep in mind, this nigga, what's his name? Conceição, he can't punch. He can't punch at
Yeah,
all.
he's lucky. He's lucky he couldn't punch. And
Oh,
that's what I was thinking. Like, boy, Shakur about to go. You better be on that fucking man. You better be sipping all types of tea because
no,
Shakur.
Shakur Midwest is slick. The difference, you can't be like Mayweather. Mayweather is slick all around the ring. Shakur is slick in place. Like when Shakur is defensively responsible while not moving a great distance away from you, slipping punches that close takes a certain degree of slickness. Like for example, you're talking about the difference between a slick fighter and a technical fighter. Okay, yeah, I'll give you a good example. People like Triple G, Errol Spence Jr. are not slick. They're incredibly technical. Terrence Crawford is slick. He's difficult to hit for lots of reasons. Boots is slick. They have technical skill sets, but they are slick fighters. They're incredibly slick.
Boots is like the definition of slick nigga.
Yeah, Boots is slippery and slick and difficult to hit, but people will see him take a few clean punches, and I'm like, that's because Boots is confident in his power against anybody. Like the more confident you are in your power and chin, the less slick you actually need to be.
And it's
Shakur,
fucking boxing. I've never seen a fighter fight somebody that was skilled and didn't get hit for 12 rounds. Not
right?
even once.
Yeah, even Mayweather took a few flush shots. People fucking forget, and it was against people that weren't skilled at all. Like Maidana wasn't slick or technically sound, but he landed clean on Floyd just because he went in there and jumped on his ass. But like I was saying, people that are confident in their chin and their power are going to be less slick by nature because number one, knockouts sell more. Number two, you don't go as many rounds. So that means the probability that you take damage is less. And number three, it gets the fight over with. It's more entertaining for everybody, etc. Like look at Stanionis. Stanionis don't need to be slick because he's like, I'm stronger than everybody. I hit harder than everybody. Ain't nobody gonna knock me out. So fuck it. I'm gonna just go in there and put some pressure on your ass. And someone said like Canelo's not slick because he doesn't need to be. He's like, I'm confident in my chin, I'm confident in my power, and then I'll fucking just walk you down.
Is Canelo slick?
No, he's not because he doesn't need to be.
He was in the first Triple G fight.
Nah, he was just on his bicycle. Tevin Farmer and Cool Boy. Yeah, Tevin Farmer is slick because he only has 6 knockouts in 30 fucking fights. So that's why he's slick because he has no goddamn choice. Crawford is very slick. He uses his feet. He throws every punch. He's very slick. He is technical too. That's why he's one of the best in the world. Cool Boy is less slick, more technical. When it comes to his defensive responsibility, you've seen his last 2 fights. Where the fuck was the slickness? He was in there banging in the pocket with Angelo Leo and Figueroa. Now he's technical when he's implementing his combinations on the inside and trying to get away from some punches, but the slickness was not there. So
I don't know. This nigga, he be fighting like a madman these days.
yeah, that's why Cool Boy. That's a bad example, especially if we use his last.
He was in there going body for body with fucking what's his name? The guy he fought before last.
Figueroa.
No, not Figueroa.
Angelo Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you hit me with slick, and I think of those last 2 fights, I'm like, yeah, maybe not.
What's Shakur Stevenson? Honestly, man, unless Valdez got some type of miracle punch off, it just looks, it looks bad, man. Because Shakur Stevenson, dude, I don't even like watching the Herring versus Stevenson fight. I really don't.
I got the shit way out of him.
Because it was kind of I'm like, damn, man, I fuck with Herring, bro, but this is a beating. Bro, it was so bad that Shakur Stevenson couldn't even land the final punch on him. The ref literally jumped in the way, like moved his arm so the punch wouldn't land flush. Go
Yeah.
watch it. Go watch the highlights. He literally,
No, I rewatched the fight. Yeah, the ref was like, "Oh hell no, just cut."
the ref, yeah, he jumped in front of
He's
the,
like, "Cut
like,
this
on
shit
the side
off."
of the punch, cut it off. He was like, oh, nah,
This is
I seen enough.
Yeah, he's like two more. It's like honestly, letting it go 10 was a stretch because nigga wasn't getting any punches off. He wasn't getting shit.
And I fuck with Herring. And I just seen Herring fucking sleep. What's his name?
Oh,
Easy.
fucking Frampton
Frampton, yeah.
retired him with an
He
uppercut.
got Frampton. He retired Frampton. He got under him easy. And to see him go out like that was like that. I thought he was at least gonna land a couple punches off on Shakur.
Yeah,
They didn't land none.
I knew he was gonna get washed, but I didn't think it was gonna be to that magnitude. I was like, oh fuck. Like it was bad. Like it got to the point, it got to the point where I was actually hoping Herring would get some damn licks in. I'm like, nigga, this is not good. Like
He ain't getting none, bro. And I'm like, man.
he had one round of success, and that was pretty much when he was grabbing and holding and trying to elbow niggas and shit. He's like, bring your little ass over here. Come on. Stevenson looked at the ref like, hey, you see what he's doing? I'm like, nah, nigga.
And
You can't.
that's one thing he gotta watch out for in the Valdez fight.
Oh,
He
yeah.
can't expect them to be catching every foul or whatever.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, they building statues of this nigga
Once Valdez
after he was on pads.
once Valdez realized he's really down on the cards and he need a knockout, Stevenson needs to be trying to put his ass down. Because if I'm Valdez corner, I'm like, look, bro, we saw the Herring footage. Jump on his ass, make him uncomfortable. When you
Nigga,
feel like he's about to throw the
Corner,
combination.
if you Valdez corner, you telling the world you can't beat an African American fighter like Shakur Stevenson. Because that's what this corner did say, Reynoso.
I mean, but I'm like, if you going in with a defeatist mindset, you can't go out like no hoe. You got to come in bombing. You got to come in fucking just dropping all types of bombs and just making it uncomfortable.
And people don't. I'm telling you, if the roles were reversed, and I was a black fighter saying that about Mexican fighters, me and black coach saying that about Mexican fighters, it'd have been a lot of backlash.
Hell yeah.
Like you said, he's coming into the fight already defeated, man. How is your coach having that type of mentality, even if he feels that way? Why would he say it publicly?
Well, the reason why he probably said this shit publicly is because the duck sauce was already exposed. As opposed to talking about unification on top, Valdez is over here talking about fighting the lower division champion. So the way Reynoso thinking, like, number one, I got Canelo, so I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna stay eating regardless, and I got other people I can coach. Number two, you exposed your goddamn self talking about some Navarrete. Before Shakur Stevenson fought Jamel Herring, you said you were cool with Shakur Stevenson, and if he wins, he can get it next. The moment he actually does win and he's next on deck, you over here talking about some Navarrete, nigga, you made yourself look bad, and you expect the Bob Baron.
Remember the fans wanted it. You remember that post I tweeted today?
Right, and you expected Bob Baron to keep his mouth shut, forgetting that motherfucker is 100 years old and says whatever he wants to. So it's not Reynoso's fault. He got aired out by a damn Bob. Bob don't give a fuck what you talking about. He's like, yeah, the kid said he wanted to fight Navarrete, so I'm like, fucking, I'll make it happen. They didn't want the Shakur fight. He was sitting at the house like, damn, Bob, can you keep some of the shit on the down low?
Right? Can you keep it on down low? Yeah, he literally said it. He said the team wanted fucking Navarrete, but Shakur Stevenson, I don't know if he's trying to be politically correct, but he said that now not Shakur Stevenson, he said Valdez team wanted it because they're tired of being bullied online, basically.
That's basically what it was with this lawsuit. Bob Arum needed a big fight, and he's probably like, "Listen, kid, I'm gonna take good care of you, but you gotta take this one for the team, all right? Get in there, do your best, and whatever happens, we got you. We got you." I mean, that's what
Bob's been watching boxing for a very long time. Like you said, the man is almost 100 years old. I don't even know what they call 90-year-olds. They call 80-year-olds octogenarians. But I don't even know.
They call 90-year-olds nonagenarians.
Nonagenarians?
Yeah.
See, that's how old that motherfucker is, bro. So he's been watching Styles and watching Mexican versus Black for a very long time. And he knows what's next. He knows what happens.
Yeah, and that's why I'm, I talk about all the time. That's why I'm so big on sacrifices because these people don't want to fight each other anymore. So some people got to get sacrificed. Not to mention Valdez. I'm sorry, but that knockout over Burchell, I didn't think he was really gonna be no killer at 130. Like, okay, great, you knocked out Burchell, who had also been knocked out by somebody else. Congratulations, cool. Burchell is not some ultimate boxing elite. He's a Mexican dude who comes forward and punch real hard. He
And he
he
was on the juice.
yeah, he is what Sean Porter called Wilder. He's super entertaining, but he's not great. That's Burchell. And Burchell, cool. Don't get it twisted. But I wasn't all of a sudden on the Valdez train after that fucking win.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, D Hod. Me, I didn't know too much about Valdez or Burchell, but I was hearing things that Burchell was the guy that's the known for the power and all that, and he's the bigger guy. So I thought that Burchell was gonna go in there and possibly sleep fucking Oscar, who got his jaw broke at a point in time in his career.
Me too. I had Burchell by stoppage, but
Me too.
then we found out nigga was on some tea, and we were like,
And then
ah.
yeah, and then when he knocked him out, I was like, yo, what the fuck? And I was pushing for the Shakur Stevenson fight then because I was like, oh man, this guy, he got that crack. This is a name right here. And then that T situation came out, and then he looked like that against Robson. I was like, oh shit. It brought me back down to a level of thinking like, man, Shakur's really gonna hurt this guy.
That's what always happens, and I don't know if it's like I don't know. I know it's not just with Mexican fighters, but that's a pattern with them. Like I posted on Twitter earlier today, I had to rewatch Ramirez versus Pedraza and then some of Ramirez other fights. I'm like, this nigga is truly mediocre. Y'all fucking goaded this motherfucker after a hooker knockout, making him seem like he was the next big shit. And then he gets in there, gets his ass beat by Josh Taylor, looks like booty against Pedraza. All of a sudden, nobody talking about him. I'm like, y'all just make these hype trains like out of nowhere. But you
Out
see
of
what I'm
nowhere.
like,
And then
y'all.
they don't even give the main fighters credit, but they give these fucking hype. Like right now, these guys rate fucking George Kambosos higher than Javante Davis, style skill wise,
Which is fucking nuts. I don't
all
even.
because he beat Teofimo Lopez, who Teofimo Lopez beat up Loma. I'm like, dude, you guys don't even make any fucking sense, man. You
Tank
put
would
fucking, you
Tank
put
would
any, no,
love.
I mean, you put George Kambosos there with Tank, man. He's getting stopped. The
And
nigga's
and,
scared of Devin Haney.
and the
Imagine what
funny
Tank would do to him.
And the funny thing is, Tank the type of nigga because of what Mayweather be talking about them belts. Tank the type of nigga to wait for George Kambosos to come off the belts, then happily offer his ass a fight. Should you lose to Devin Haney or you lose to Lomachenko, he'll happily offer Kambosos a fight without the belts involved. I think the only person that he'd actually like bother with the belts just to vacate afterwards is probably that Loma fight because they've been talking about it real strong. I know a lot of people don't think he's gonna fight Loma. I think he fucking folds Loma. But
When is Tank fighting? What's his name?
Rolly, oh fuck, that shit's like,
He should just fight Rolly like in May, end of
I,
May. Get that shit over with.
I think it's in April and May. I don't fucking know because he got court this month, so that shit should be up and at him and over with by then. But
I hope they just get a young bull probation or some shit.
yeah, I hope so too. I hope they don't try to do no real sinister shit like try to make an example out of that. That'd be
I
annoying.
feel like they're gonna be like, well, you see him working. He's been fighting. He's been focusing on the gym, just working. I feel like they're gonna try to plead that with the judge, and they're gonna get that nigga probation or some shit. But you know how it is, man. Money fucking talks.
Yeah, I
Money
hope so.
fucking
I hope they
talks.
got, forget Floyd and Leonard comes from the business world, but he could just slide the right people some cheese and get the shit out the way. If Lindsay Lohan been in similar situations and ain't done no fucking day in jail, so Tank should be straight. Just go ahead,
Trust
slide
me.
these.
It was Showtime and CBS. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got a little something, a little bag.
Yeah, just go ahead, slide these people some cheese. Tell the DA to calm the fuck down and let some shit go. We'll keep his ass on personal house arrest. Give me that fine. Slap me with some community service for the summertime, and let's get the fuck up out of here. Ain't nobody really need no 2 to 5 years, no 7 years. Oh fuck that
And,
fucking.
and one thing I learned growing up in this world, growing up in this country, is that rules can be broken. These people who make the rules, they break them all the time, like the DAs and all that shit. They Man, they'll let shit certain shit slide.
Yeah, DAs. I'd have to explain to people. DAs decide who to prosecute. Just because you break a
Yeah,
law, that doesn't mean you pay for it. The district attorney has to decide if the case is worthy enough to press charges. Otherwise, usually the cops write you up a little funky ass ticket. You pay the courthouse. You do what they tell you. Log in your hours. Submit your little receipt to the courthouse via whatever company you did the service with, and then you move on. Because the shit's usually not that serious. If the DA is trying to charge a celebrity with something that's that they deem as egregious, it's a specific type of situation.
except the rules not for them, it's for us exactly, and that's why I always say, man, I don't have respect for that shit because,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
exactly.
let
You know
me
that.
yeah, but Justin asked the difference between Gary Russell 126 and 140 styles. The one on 140 is much more aggressive because he probably has more faith in his punching power. Definitely. I think he's not as slick as Gary.
And he's more heavier.
Yeah, I don't think he's as slick as Gary. He's definitely not as fast because Gary got the fastest hands. But Antoine is definitely more powerful, less defensively responsible. Definitely comes forward more, much more entertaining to watch. Kind of fights like a Frank Martin. Do y'all consider the Cuban heavyweight? Frank Sanchez? No, he's not slick. He heavy as shit. No, it's very few slick heavyweights. Like, like it's very few it's very few slick heavyweights. So I mean,
Man, I'm telling you, Haney, not Haney, but fucking Gary Russell, the one at 140. He needs to just tighten up on his game, man, just a little bit, dude. Because I'm telling you, that punch that missed Postal by an inch, oh my lord, the power's there for the kid. Can we say that?
100%. I mean, like I said, we both we both thought that punch that missed by an inch sleeps pretty much everybody at 140. I don't care who you are. That you could be Devin, you could shit. That honestly, that might even put Tank ass down. To,
What you
to
think about Josh Taylor? Every day I log into
oh
Twitter,
my god, I don't even want to talk about
I
fucking.
just keep on seeing news about. They said they reporting the scorecards to the police and all.
Yeah, they called the cop. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Who got mandated on them? Alberto Puello. I actually posted about Alberto Puello like a few days ago, and I was like, if y'all not including Alberto Puello in your 140s to watch list, y'all might get your little feelings hurt. And the WBA mandated his ass, which I know he's not gonna fight. But Alberto Puello is a Dominican that fights on PBC. He's a hard hitting southpaw, the very thing that Josh Taylor just struggled with. So yeah, Josh Taylor probably gonna be up for
Man, the
147 in a
belt's
minute.
about to scatter like motherfucking Dragon Balls.
And I can't wait because if Cambos is bullshitting, it's time for Devin Haney to get the fuck up out of there.
Bro, I feel bad for Taylor because I feel like Taylor don't even feel comfortable going up to 147 so fast. But it don't matter. It's the life you chose, nigga.
He about to he going well because he getting married after this, so he gonna get married, and then he gonna take like a year and some change off before they even talk about making a fight. They're gonna be like, all right, let's chill out and really assess your career here, because there's certain adjustments and moves you're gonna have to make to deal at 147. Because right now you're looking like a meal, my boy. Even Tiafimo punk ass tweeted said that Josh Taylor was some food. I'm like, nigga, if you don't sit your
Did
goofy
he
ass down.
really tweet some shit?
He tweeted a dinner plate and like a fork and a knife. I was like, nigga, if you don't relax with your punk ass getting whooped on by Cambosis.
And it's so funny because people talk about some Lopez need to go to 140. The motherfucker's so big, I wouldn't be surprised if he couldn't even make that.
Oh, I would love to see Tiafimo at welterweight right now. Oh yes. Yes, 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 yes. You
Mario Barrios versus Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, he'll probably knock him out. He could probably get over on a Danny Garcia maybe too. But you talk about fucking Stanionis. You talk
Stanionis
about
versus Lopez at
Bu-
147.
Butayev. Like you could beat motherfuckers like Abel Ramos, but you start getting into that top 10 or whatever. Yeah, wah wah wah
Yeah,
wah.
that's
Gonna be
tough,
a
man.
lot of
That's
a
real
lot of
tough.
tears.
And I feel like we're getting that. We're going to the next chapter in boxing, which is our favorite fighters are getting older, while the younger fighters are coming up and getting more matured in the game.
Yeah, it's a changing of the guard, which is why I'm so big on sacrifices right now. Because a lot of these motherfuckers just taking up space. Just
Postal
take,
got just sacrificed.
yeah, you ain't good. It's about time for him to get
If
up out
if
of here.
if Errol Spence fights motherfucking Bud next, Keith Thurman gonna have to get sacrificed to Boots. Cause
Keith Thurman,
he still want to fight, and they're like, hold on, dude. If you still want to fight, you gonna have to fight when these killers coming up.
Keith Thurman should have been sacrificed for his return party. Ain't nobody give a fuck about Keith Thurman no more.
Keith Thurman still thinking shit 2017 and shit, nigga. Have you seen your hairline?
Right, he's a fucking dummy. Nobody got time for that shit.
For real, like Keith Thurman, you were the man in 2017. But times has changed, nigga.
And Josh Taylor, I'm telling you, Josh Taylor gonna pull a Keith Thurman. Nigga got married. He gonna sit down and reassess his career because the division then got dangerous. That's exactly what happened to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman lost one fucking fight. The division got dangerous. All his comeback fights were kind of sketchy. Didn't know who he could beat. Waited till Barrios took an L and decided to come up. Oh, let me go ahead and fight Barrios. Okay, yeah, you get one of those. I'm not about to fuck off good money to watch you not fight some of our biggest people coming up. It's time you put in your goddamn work and actually earn a paycheck around this motherfucker. You're over here fucking lagging. It's just like Canelo and Ryan and why you think Canelo on what's his name Valdez ass so tough? He like you over here fucking wasting money, putting shit on TikTok, dancing around like this little bitch who wants to go over there and pal around with Oscar De La Hoya, who I hate. Nah, rest of you putting in some goddamn work. I'm sick of this shit.
I seen a video of Canelo talking to Valdez after the Robson fight, explaining to him like what the shit he should have done. I
Yes,
said, dude,
he's
there's
embarrassed.
there's no man. I kind of feel bad for Canelo because the type of ass whooping he's about to receive, Reynoso's gonna look real bad.
Yeah, and it's funny because I can see that they try to teach him how to fight like Canelo, and I saw a lot of it during Bachel. Like how he'll have both hands up and then he'll just pop out that flashing jab. And
Yep, or he'll have both come. He'll come to you in the high guard and then try to dip low with that body shot.
yeah,
He couldn't really pull it off.
no, he can't at all because number one, he doesn't have the reflexes. Number two, he doesn't have the instincts. Like one thing that he doesn't do is that he doesn't hold that jab hand out to cover any counter rights. He'll just sit there and put his hands back to resting position over his face and then catch whatever's coming back. Try to catch on his gloves. But Midwest says them 135 fighters food at 140 against the top guys. Uh, I don't think Devin Haney's food. I don't think Tank is food. I don't think Frank Martin is necessarily food. But everybody else probably shit.
Man, I think 147 is dangerous for
Taylor would
Josh
do good at
Taylor.
147.
140 is dangerous too, and 147. Both of them dangerous. I
But
mean,
yeah, he'll do really good against the people I name. He'll do good against James Martin. He'll do good against fucking Abel Ramos. He'll do good against Josecito Lopez. He might even do good against Virgil Ortiz, but or Conor Ben, one of them niggas. But you talk about Crawford, Spence, Boots.
Taylor versus Josecito Lopez.
Yeah, I'll make that fight in a fucking instant, or whoever the hell, what other wash welterweights top rank got over there for him to feast on while he's deciding what to do with his life, or they could break him off some asshole from from Probellum or whatever. Because that's part why Regis signed with Probellum because they didn't want to end up being a sacrifice. Because Regis is 34 and he's doing nothing. He's overtaking up fucking space fighting some bullshit. So I'm like, hey,
I wouldn't mind a Regis Tank fight, but Tank probably won't even get credit for that. But who
well,
knows?
well
Probably.
Tank didn't want to fight Regis, but I was thinking Gary Antoine Russell needs some work. But all of a sudden, niggas want to sign with Probellum. So I'm like, oh, okay. I see how that worked.
I'm telling you, any day now, I'm waiting for that Terrence Crawford logo. I mean, Pro Bellum graphic.
I just don't understand why the logic is always everyone is scared of Terrence Crawford. Even when Terrence Crawford says no one's scared of Terrence Crawford, nah, they're scared of Terrence. It's like, bro,
Look who Terrence Crawford was working with. Terrence Crawford was working with the man that's fucking cursing out sports analyst, female analyst, live on fucking YouTube and shit. This
I
guy, Bob Arum, a lot of people are intimidated by him because they know he basically has a lot of clout in Vegas. The fact that Terrence Crawford admitted that Bob Arum couldn't get the fight done with him and Spence, should be more than enough reason why Crawford fans shouldn't even be blaming Spence for anything.
It just sounds good. It just sounds good. So we can all blame Bud not getting big. It's funny because Andre not getting big fights is due to his lack of business intelligence and negotiation skill. But Bud not getting big fights is because everyone and their mom is fucking ducking Bud. Like it's just like I swear to God, Bud will never come and bail y'all niggas out if y'all get locked up. Never. So like get over it. I don't know what he's done to deserve this fucking cult following, but it's weird. And the one thing that always bothers me about Bud and Canelo fans is that they start to talk like them and repeat the same shit that they say, or worse, they start to make up things that they didn't say. Like the whole payday thing, that wasn't Canelo didn't say payday until his fans kept repeating that to him, and then he started saying it. And thank God Bud has said no one's avoiding him, but the whole video about him and the big fish and where you at, I'm looking for you. That's his fans getting to him, and I hope he doesn't indulge that weak shit. I really hope he doesn't. And also, Bud doesn't even hold y'all in high regard. He said the UK has the best fans, so I really don't understand what y'all so up in arms about. But now that he doesn't have any big major network promotion, he got to take what he's given. Now, if these people decide to give him 50-50 or give him the advantage on the money, that's fantastic. I don't care because I'm not a fucking boxing accountant. But if they decide to give him the lamb share of the split because he's done the lamb share of the work in the division, then that's what it is. And if he doesn't take what's offered, no one's ducking him. He just didn't want the fight. Because Jermall Charlo and Deontay Wilder have done what you're giving this guy credit for in their divisions at what you're giving him credit for at 147. They've done that. They've faithfully defended their belts, and they're accused of holding their belts fucking hostage. Bud does the same thing, and he gets praised for it, like Aegis Kavalauskas, oh fuck his name is, or some kind of goddamn all-star. Like the biggest names he fought weren't already washed. So you know, it just the double standards and the weirdness. Like I don't understand why Bud is like the only black fighter that like I understand he's the token for anti-black boxing Twitter, and that's cool, but it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird.
And you know, I had to point that out today, dude. They do use Bud as like the token Negro.
Oh, Bud is my favorite fighter, so I can't be racist. The shit is worn the fuck out. Like it's corny. And also, when he came out against the lawsuit, y'all were the same motherfuckers saying he doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's his fault. Now it's back to everyone's ducking Bud. Like, Jesus. Y'all are like it's fucking infuriating. Talking to these people.
And if that lawsuit gets thrown out, whew, all those Bud fans that were riding with him, UK fans are the best. Watch how they say, "Oh, you see, he's an idiot. There's no racism in boxing."
I fucking look this guy. Mean Machine was one of the most avoided fighters after Crawford. Lord have mercy.
Everybody wanted to fight him after that. What are you talking about?
But my thing is, was he avoided or did people not know who the fuck he was? Like that's my thing. Was he legitimately avoided or did people just not know who the dude was?
People weren't saying that Mean Machine was a super good fighter. People were just actually saying that Crawford, he just took the fight. Basically, he shouldn't. He basically went against his own game plan. It wasn't nothing that Mean Machine did. It was more of what Crawford didn't do.
Let me say this. The same people, especially the non-black Crawford fans, the same non-black Crawford fans that are riding his dick now, were they or were they not shitting on him every single day he was over Canelo Alvarez on that ESPN pound for pound list? Am I crazy?
Nah. And then around that time, that's when he dropped that comment about Canelo as well with the black fighters.
Thank you. And when Clarissa Shields was talking about a pound for pound list, and she put him at the top along with some other black people, they said she was a moron because her pound for pound list was racist. Every single fucking day, Bud Crawford was above Canelo Alvarez on that goddamn ESPN pound for pound list. You dick riding motherfuckers were crying every single day talking about how little Bud had accomplished in the goddamn sport. And as soon as he's put second, all of a sudden it's back to the dick riding. Cut that weak shit out.
And he beat Spence. He beat Spence and Charlo in the same night.
Whether that happens or not is completely irrelevant to business and how fights get made. The reality is, Bud's like you saying that he wins in a fantasy match does not factor into the business. He has no leverage. All the people that you're talking about, Spence, Charlo, etc., they have options to fight other people. You can say that Bud is their biggest money fight. Great, cool. Then he should sign whatever the fuck he's given. Because it's also probably going to be his biggest money fight. Who the fuck he gonna fight? Go to Pro Bellum and fight fucking
Liam McKinnison.
Yeah, Liam Gingerbread. Like nobody, like bro, nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares. So you know, it just is what it is, bro. And you want to talk about his popularity and how much he sold? His best pay-per-view to date was Amir Khan, which is 150, and the Charlo fucking doubleheader almost did 150. So it's comparable, bro.
Man, that shit was funny as hell. Look, that shit was on ESPN, the app. I try to purchase that shit. I swear to God, I try to buy Bud versus Crawford because I wanted to watch it. I'm a supporter.
You mean Bud versus Khan?
But yeah, I'm high. Bud versus Khan. Right? Tell me why this ESPN app did not work, bro. But I kept on clicking it, trying to click on it. It didn't work. But next thing you know, they're talking about the fight's over. He got hit in his nuts and he quit. I'm like, bro, thank God I didn't buy that shit.
but this is the illustrious God that deserves 50 fucking 50. Like, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, again,
seriously, the nigga was on a platform where the application wasn't even working, bro, for your pay-per-view fight.
And then you brought that up and then people were like, oh, it's funny because people that are shitting on the lawsuit were like, oh, it's a conspiracy. Bob fucked him on purpose because he didn't want him to be a draw. And I'm like, so which one is it? Okay, is he crazy for filing a lawsuit and there's no racism in fucking boxing, or is he not? Because every day with y'all, it's just fucking flip-floppery and garbage. And this is not me personally denigrating Terrence Crawford. I don't give a shit if he beats up Earl Spence. I don't give a shit if he beats up Jermell Charlo. I actually picked him to beat Jermell Charlo. So I don't care. But I get tired of the fights not being made and everyone just pointing fingers at someone and they don't know. They're like, oh, clearly the PBC doesn't want to sacrifice their entire stable to the killer from Omaha. Man, I get so tired of this.
Everybody got to fight but Bud. That's what y'all should be worried about.
And bro, and that's the craziest part. Spence collecting 3 belts, going through the champions. Charlo collecting 4 belts, going through the champions. Why does Bud
to fight Clayton?
Bud's doing whatever the fuck he did. Why does Bud always get to slide in after all the work's been done and take all this credit on one fucking fight? Why doesn't he have to put in any of the work?
Because he's Bud.
Like, I don't understand.
I gotta. Let's answer this last question before I get out of here.
Oh, for sure.
What dude said, Janabek or Benavidez? What's a better fight? Of course, it's Benavidez.
Yeah, but Benavidez manager already aired the dirty laundry on that. They think that Andre is an extremely dangerous fight and want $7 million, but will take Canelo for peanuts.
Exactly, and they're gonna see what. Look, if let's say Andre goes in there and fucking sleeps as Zach Parker and looks exactly like he looks at 160, but better. This shit's gonna continue. He's still not gonna get any fights.
Yep.
I mean, unless he's trying to go in there and fight Morrell Jr.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other thing. But my thing I'm worried about is when Canelo's fighting Bivol, if he doesn't have to come off of any of his straps to go up and wait and compete at 175, then no other champion should have to do that. Like, Charlo should be able to keep his 160 strap and go to 168 and fight somebody or whatever. Like, you know, just like Julio says, yeah, like that's some bullshit.
This nigga Rigo lost his belt at a lower weight class because he lost to Lomachenko at a higher weight class.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the rules and regulations on that shit. But nah, we got niggas that want to study people's fucking bank accounts while they have no money of their own. But rules like that actually move the needle in boxing. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. That's up to the sanctioning body. Blah, 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 blah. You become fucking babbling idiots.
It's the government. Now I'm talking shit. But all right, I gotta get up out of here, man.
All right.
We gonna do this again tomorrow. I'm pretty sure some crazy boxing news gonna come about.
Shit, we got to talk about the Charlo and Terrence Crawford thing. That deserves its own goddamn show because I was cooking on that all fucking
Oh
yesterday.
yeah. Okay, we can most definitely chop it up. But
Get
we'll
up
do
on
it
the
again
stage.
tomorrow. We're gonna do
All
it
right,
again tomorrow. All right.
for sure. All right, yeah, have a good one. Thanks for having me on.